Alright, let's talk about this week. That's right, Perpetual Breakdown is back after its E3 hiatus, which means we have a few things to talk about. But first, Dollet's got a few words to say.
Hey guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel immensely, and I have it on good authority, it makes you look super cool.
Now this week, we played a variety of games, and by we, I mean not many of us actually played a variety of games. I played Scarlet Nexus. Play Scarlet Nexus, that's all I've got to say. Play Scarlet Nexus. Dollet did jack all because he has school, and Leek played her normal Guilty Gear Strive, Monster Hunter, and Animal Crossing. We had a few questions this week, and they weren't actually even questions. They were topics to actually really talk about, which one of them we did talk about for the entirety of the podcast, pretty much. There is a Final Fantasy XIV collaboration going on with Twitch right now. It's actually a decent collaboration, like the thought of it was decent, but the actual execution of it wasn't very good. For all the information, you can either go onto Twitch to any of the 14 people to talk to about what the collaboration is, or you can go to the Lodestone for 14 to figure out what the collaboration is, or you can listen to our podcast where we talked about it. The other question or topic to hit on that was presented to us, we talked about how Nisa and Nihon Falcom added their FanFest type thing this Friday, the same night that Scarlet Nexus came out, where they played the band. They had their band, their Falcom JDK band. They played some of the popular songs across from East and all the Trails games. And they did some announcements. Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, Nayuta no Kiseki, which is now being named Nayuta Boundless Trails, and Hajimari no Kiseki, which is now being named Trails into Reverie. They are now all being localized. Not only are they all being localized, they are actually being in partnership with Geofront, who are the localization team that brought over the fan translation for Zero and Azure, and they will also be working on the ports for Zero and Azure with Nisa. Yeah, that's pretty great. Go check out Geofront. They're great. They're, like I said last week, and I said on the podcast as well, they carry this community. They carry the fandom. Without them, we wouldn't have Zero or Azure being localized. Now, our list of news this week it's not very long at all. Not too big of stuff. There was the Final Fantasy XIV and Twitch collaboration, which we talked about on the podcast. You can go and listen to the podcast and get all your information with that. It was kind of heated, a little bit heated. Today, Bethesda's Todd Howard decided to come out and say, it's good to think that Elder Scrolls 6 is still in a design phase, which pretty much means it hasn't gotten off of paper. The thing that they showed us 2 years ago probably isn't even part of the game. PlayStation just announced that they acquired Housemarque, which is the developer behind Returnal, which is pretty good. Housemarque has shown that they know how to use the PlayStation 5 architecture to a great deal with Returnal, and Returnal is really good. And honestly, a lot of people probably saw this coming. So now, PlayStation has a new first-party developer, which is great. Also, what happened this week was Blizzard's shareholder meeting. They barely passed giving Bobby Kotick $153 million. So, yeah, that goes to show you what Blizzard's all about. They're all about just giving Bobby Kotick money. So any money you give Blizzard is just going to go straight to Bobby Kotick. It's not going to go into any developers. They're already getting paid their probably very low wage, but Bobby Kotick gets all the great shit. Up on the RPG site, there is a comparison between the current versions of Final Fantasy 1 through 6 that we have on Steam, compared alongside the new Pixel remaster. It's a nice little look, and you get to see what the big changes are. Also, Square is pulling Final Fantasy 5 and Final Fantasy 6 off of Steam. I think you'll be able to play the ones if you had it already downloaded, but after the end of the month, not June, but I think at the end of July, if you do not have those versions downloaded, you will not be able to access them again. Who's really going to want to play that version of 6? That version of 6 looks horrible. Anyway, links will be in the description. Make sure to check them out. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe if you want. And, yeah, have a good day. See you next week.